Hey people, Infant here, 1v1, Green Tooth Gorge, blue side. It's Fathom with a Warboss, breaking stuff already, walks through objects, melee hero with strong support and disruption. Up against is Epic, I'm gonna say, with a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat by default, great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. Seems like none of them are going mid. Fathom avoiding the mid maybe because he thinks he's gonna get harassed by the Warp Spider, but the Warp Spider didn't go there. Goes for the naturals. The Orks will probably flood down this east side here. Try to get these points. A couple of wreck points back here. Then I'm sure collapse on the mid. Guardians are going to meet probably the Warboss. Yeah, it looks like Sluggers, or sorry, Shooter Boys on the VP. Warboss is going to come try to roughhouse these Guardians. And they'll probably just run to the garrison. Maybe this one, if they're feeling brave. But there is one back here, isn't there? Yeah, there's one there. And there's one over there. They've got options. Can they get the cap first, though? They can't. They're not even going to try. There's the ranged weapon of the Warboss coming in. His custom shooter. That side-mounted magazine. Sluggers are going to grab the power. Are these shooters going mid? The Warp Spider, meanwhile, has grabbed this natural power of Fathom and is noding and is now decapping that very natural wreck point there. Warboss just hanging out. Gonna take some shots. He'll take... Yeah, look at that. It's one burst of their weapons. It's good damage output on these Guardians out the gate. Go for the garrison. Warboss can't do much about that. He's gonna cap up the east side though, so the Warboss is kind of doing his job of just holding up the Guardians so they can't plink away at the Sluggers. One gen up for Epic, so probably, yep, Guardian weapon team on the way. And, oh, it's Storm Boys for Fathom. Here's your Howling Banshees, making their way towards the east, I think. They match up pretty well with Sluggers. They have more hit points per model, I think. Banshees are 150 and these guys are 100. Yep. And they have more DPS and, perhaps more importantly, more melee skill. Sluggers and Storm Boys only have 60 melee skill, which really lets them down in the toe-to-toe melee fights. The Warboss can, of course, buff the hell out of that with his global. I was thinking maybe his boss pole should give a like +5 melee skill or something. Not the full +10 to 70, but at least +5. But maybe that'll be too strong for the boss pole. No upgrades for Shooter Boys, straight into those Storm fellas. Here they are. Jump troops with power melee weapons. They have more DPS than Banshees, I think, and more hit points. 190, I think, per model, or 170, something like that. Someone can work it out with maths. And Banshees are 150, but because of that melee skill, they can often mess up Storm Boys. We'll see how lucky they get. There's the War Shout. Storm Boys jump out of it onto the Shuriken. Ouch. A lot of damage, but look at those specials coming in from the Banshees. Now the Storm Boys, though, turn. Go toe-to-toe, where they do well. If they do not get special attacked, they do well. Shooter Boys were helping. That was a pretty even fight. The Shooter Boys were turning it towards the Storm Boys, but then the Warp Spider came in. Banshees, I believe, I think it's like 27 power melee DPS. I know they're the exact same DPS as Assault Marines, but obviously power melee and not melee, and there's more of them. And I'm pretty sure Storm Boys are like 30, so slightly more. It's a very close melee fight between Banshees and the tier 1 Orc stuff, although they generally mop up against Sluggers, I think. Not sure how Burners change that equation though, especially if they can get some good Burny action as the Banshees run in. Guardians trying to retake their natural wreck point. You have a Pain Boy that's really going to turn the tide in those melee fights with his Git Source to heal over time. Any sign of Warboss war gear? Nope. Everything spent on the Storm Boys and the Pain Boy so far. Warp Spider does have enough energy to teleport out, and there's the suppression. Pain Boy healed himself there. So maybe we'll see the boss pole. We see spiky armor, giving some good health regen to the Warboss, and attacking melee units taking damage. 250 health is a hell of a lot of a bump as well. How much does that thing cost? Double shurikens on the field for Epic. Banshees do have the aspect of strength, but they've taken some damage here. Gives them 10% more health. They'll match up even better with the Storm Boys in tier 1, but they get their Knob Leader, of course, in tier 2, and that guy is mean. If they can get the stun jump on the Banshees, Banshees are in trouble. Their Exarch will have heavy melee. I assume she has more health than the other Banshees. I can't quite remember. Slugger's trying to retake the power point here. 1-to-1 cap. VP's very even. Fights have been pretty even too. And I don't think we'll see anything else in tier 1 from these guys. I think they're thinking about their tier 2s. Maybe a weird boy out the gate for Fathom. I'm sure Epic would love to get a Wraith Lord against Sluggers and Storm Boys, but we'll see. Grenade. I guess maybe force the shooters to retreat if nothing else. They have their Knob Leader and their big shooters. So they're fully kitted out for the Daka, and they can use the aiming watch that to suppress the Banshees, although the Warp Spider will probably get in and tie them up. Does it let you use aiming watch that if you are tied up in melee? Because it's a targeted ability, it probably still lets you use it. Warboss has found the Warp Spider. I don't think Epic's paying attention here. Oh, special attack could get the kill. That was a clutch special for the Warboss. Actually teleported away, but maybe it was the damage of a time from the Pain Boy's melee that killed him. He's got like a poisoned Orky blade. Chopper, sorry, not blade. I'll use the correct terms here. Shuriken setting up, although not in a way that's conducive to stop Storm Boy jumps. I guess if the Storm Boys jump this one, they can get shot at, but if they jump the back one, and they don't have to move that much further to do it, this one's not going to cover it. This one's moving back now, maybe because of that. Banshee's fleeting to get to the west side, because they know this was decapped by Sluggers, and Sluggers that are low on health too. Banshee Exarch is queued up for tier 2. Gets the fancy heavy melee spear. And a pretty well priced leader, I think, for what she does at just 20 power. Improved rocket packs for the Storm Boys queued up. Gives them extra jump range, and the Bomber Boys abilities. Sluggers survive. And it might have been because of the Ard Boys global going in, although that model was quite far away. He might have survived anyway. Warp Spider Exarch in the building, being annoying. Warboss so pissed off that he just stomps the ground, apparently. Awesome. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe they were trying to use the Pain Boy heal and had the wrong unit selected or something. Lots of Daka gets rid of the Shuriken, and the Storm Boys there can jump the other one. Warboss trying to get around. Storm Boys might eat a grenade when they jump. There's the jump. Where's the grenade? No grenade. Retreat from Epic. Well, grenade was on the shooters, sorry. They did chuck it. Grenade given to them by the battle equipment there. Death Dread on the way for Fathom it is. Trying to make these things transition into Bright Lances, I guess. Or at least one of them. To stop the overlapping suppression. No, cancels it, goes for a weird boy. Storm Boys do have their Knob Leader. Look at him there. It's almost the size of the Warboss. He's got a heavy melee, huge chopper. Banshee's bashing power. Caught with a bunch of Daka now. Yeah, having to get out of there. Didn't need to use the aiming watch that. But I guess there's not that much else to use it on. They could maybe suppress a Guardian weapon team, allow something to get into melee. Warboss flees. He's level 2. What level are you? Mr. Warp Spider has the improved targeters. Big buff to his ranged prowess, but it's quite an expensive accessory, I believe. Wraith Lord is on the way. Weird Boy is up here. Support Sub-Commander for Orks. Has a really powerful basic attack and starts with a big AoE stun, which is going to be really bad news for the Banshees. Maybe even could get close enough to use it on the weapon team. Storm Boys going to get shot at. They might jump here. And the big Knob Leader does stun on landing. They're trying to get a decap before they do. Oh, they're jumping away. I guess I don't know exactly what's back here. That was smart, because there was another Shuriken back there. Weird Boy can get some really cool abilities, but we'll see how it goes. He's got tons of energy, as you can see. That's because his abilities are quite expensive, and he needs to be around Orks using War to get his energy back efficiently. So there is some positional and internal ability micro to make the Weird Boy super effective and efficient. Some Really good damage to the Warboss here, the Warp Spider Exarch. Wraithlord is up. I hear Banshees yelling. Where are they yelling? Oh, over here. Use your choppers on the sluggers, though. Really makes that fight lean towards the Orks when you've got plus 35% melee skill and... Is it 25% melee damage or something like that? Sorry, plus 35 melee skill, not 35%. And I think plus 25% damage. Melee damage, that is. Makes them win most fights in tier 2, really. Maybe not against Gene Stealers if they have the melee skill buff from the improved melee synapse. But with them, with the damage bonus, maybe even that's enough to get him through. Shuriken Cannon upgrade for the Wraithlord. Gonna be shoulder mounted. Is it bash power? Yep. Trying to smack through the power. Jump in. There's the stun right into the path of the other one. Bomber Boys to disrupt it. It's one way that Storm Boys can deal with double setup teams relatively well. Although you need to sacrifice a model for that. Doing some really good damage to these guys. It's a late retreat there, trying to buy time for the Banshees to come in, and they are in, and they're healthy and ready to go. There's the War Shout. For the Storm Boys level, they're very close to leveling. Banshees a little bit further behind on XP, but not that much. And they're killing models here. I think they killed one. Yes, they killed one. Bomber Boy took the other. Now a bunch of more Orks show up, including the Weird Boy. Look at that shot there. They hit like 4 models, I think, on the left. And there's Daka. And the Sluggers are fully upgraded now with that Knob Leader with power melee and those burners. Give them health and more power melee weapons. Wraithlord is still bashing the power, is he? Oh, he's stopped now. Epic didn't queue up enough bashing, I guess. West side. Guardians with their Warlock buddy. Gives them Embolden, which I think is just a damage bonus and a damage resist bonus for 10 seconds. I think that's how it works. I don't think that's been changed much over the years. Warp Spider grabs the Eastern VP, which is natural for Fathom. Starting to fall behind in map, but they do have a good army on the field. Death Dread is now on the way. Perhaps saw that the Wraithlord does not have the Bright Lance shoulder mounted. The gens have been bashed, but there's not a whole lot Fathom can do about the Wraithlord. Surprised they're going for the Death Dread now. What is their plan to fight the Wraithlord here? Could have gone Tank Busters, could have gone Beamy Death Gun. Does not have the Power Claw, although that wouldn't have been a great choice. Would help you out with some supplementary AV against the Walker for sure. But that melee resistance aura on the Wraithlord makes it hard to fight in melee and get it done. Sluggers with Ard Boys get away, and they got the node which has been replaced. Did well. It's a good time to try the Power Bash, I think. What's the west side going on? Shuriken getting right in the face of this stuff, but it's getting caught. Is he going to get away? Are they going to jump after it? I think they should have jumped after it. I think they would have finished it. Remember that the Shuriken Cannon itself doesn't actually have any hit points. So you just need to smack down the Guardians that are looking after it and it'll blow up. Death Dread is in. Wraithlord not going after it though. Doesn't have its burners and bits. The Weird Boy's basic attack can do some anti-vehicle. What are these guys up to? Full bash maybe. Double Shurikens are here, but they might get jumped. They don't want to be too close together because they can stun them both. There's a jump. And they're all stunned, although base turrets are joining in. Guard Boys on the Storm Boys, and they are ripping through those fellas. I think they should have stayed in. I think they should have stayed in there, tried to finish off the other one, but perhaps safety first. Got away with no model losses. Oh, spoke too soon. Wraithlord is there to backhand them with his Ghostglaive sword. 392 to 389. VP's very, very close. And it's tier 3 for Epic. Wraithlord has carried them through. Without much opposition as well. Death Dread can't fight it, really. Oh, there's Tank Busters now. Okay, we've got Tank Busters. Death Dread and the Storm Boys and the Tank Busters will be enough to deal with it. Wraithlord or the Eldar in general need to stop these Tank Busters doing their thing. Is it too far forward here? Might be. 2 volleys. Second hit seems better than the first. But they are quite slow on their feet, Tank Busters, and they have no way to boost their mobility, or other than a Weird Boy using the Warpath or something. Gets away. Covered by the Shuriken. Broke the Eldar shield though. Guardian's trying to repair it. Doesn't seem interested in being repaired. There we go. What's this? Weird boy on capping duty. Fully matured rec point there. Warp Spider goes for the center. Yeah, it's going to struggle to decap it, I think. Tank busters have that barrage that can disrupt stuff. Into tier 3 though. Is it Fire Prism time? Is it Seer Council time? They'll both do pretty well here. How far away are they from an avatar? Could maybe save for one. 392 to 348. Banshee's found the weird boy, but he does get away, kicking off in the mid. Storm Boys with a jump. Gets a shuriken out of there. DPS flying into the Wraith Lord. Even the Pain Boy's having a go. The Warboss now has his heavy melee power claw. 95 DPS on that thing. Storm Boys joining in. I'm not sure what the DPS is on the Nob leader of the Storm Boys. I assume it's 30 or 35 or something heavy melee. Is the Wraith Lord going to get out of there? Jumping into stun. Can they get a group grenade here? They don't have any energy for it. I think maybe the Wraith Lord's okay, unless the Death Dread just goes in. Where are the tank busters? Oh, they didn't move. They're back there. Weird. City Council on the field now. Getting rid of the Warboss. Was a very close chase. I think it was the right idea to chase, but should have brought the tank busters. They could have used their barrage and finished it off, or maybe just get a volley off. Seer Council will really help in these melee fights. They can't do a great job against the Death Dread with their power melee, but they can disrupt and slice up infantry super well. Didn't disrupt those guys because they were in the entering garrison animation, which you can't disrupt. They have that ranged damage resistance aura. Not helping them against big gold Death Dread snippy claws though. Oh, Bright Lance getting shots now. Hard to see as it goes through terrain here. Grenade. Tries to finish off the tank busters, but Ard Boys gets them out of there. It's 25% damage resist. Banshees. Uh-oh. Doesn't quite get them out of there. Banshees come just in time for some flanking, retreating kills. Their speciality. Now they're chasing the Death Dread. The Exarch with that heavy melee weapon. It gives me a number here, does it? 51 DPS on that. So maybe I underestimate the Storm Boys' Nob leader weapon. I can't see it in the unit card here. I wish the unit card could populate all three of these slots with their upgrades rather than just one. Here's what it is. Banshees get out of there. Wraith Lord's swinging. Storm Boys have been fantastic so far. Maybe slightly unlucky not to be level 3 yet. They're getting there though. No entangling web from this Warp Spider still. With the amount of pain and disruption these Storm Boys, of course, has not got that entangling web. Warboss with use your choppers. Buffing his melee damage up to fight the Wraith Lord. I think it's going to go down one more swing. Smack, they got it. Grenade came in too late. Orks dropped in somewhere. And she's going for the spear. Executioner comes in. It's a power melee Executioner though, unlike the Banshee one. Can't she have a heavy melee weapon? Would it really be that crazy? I mean, maybe it would, when she can jump after a tank and stuff and get rear armor hits. She has her fusion gun for anti-vehicle, I suppose. Phase shift to annoy these sluggers. Orks doing a very fancy special attack. I assume she has 70 melee skill, so sluggers will still be behind there. And they don't want to fight Seer Council. Not sure why they're staying in this fight. Seer Council will mess up sluggers 1v1. Even if they're level 4, I assume. Warp Spider on capping duty, east side. Might be a triple cap here for Epic. I'm not sure the Death Dread purchase has done a lot. I suppose it did force the Bright Lance purchase. Epic doesn't seem to have done much else to purposefully go after it though. Orks jumps in and heals and buffs. I think it's a speed and a damage buff when she does that, I think. I know it's a speed buff. And she has the damage resistance aura, which probably stacks to the Seer Council's aura. Yeah, some nasty force here. Nasty. Some levels. Is the Death Dread been repaired? It is being repaired. It's going to take a while though, eh? It's going to take a while. Got the burners and bits though. So I think it might do some decent work here, but it did delay the tier 3. Was it worth delaying the tier 3 for? On the power is the Seer Council. Pretty good little bashing melee squad. Orks gonna die if she's not careful. Needs to jump away. Oh, some friendly fire and some friendly knockback from the Weird Boy. Might have saved her life there. It's a fire prism on the way now for Epic. Good choice here, I think. Gotta be careful that the Storm Boys don't jump it, but otherwise, not a huge amount of threat to it. There's that phase shift. I think mainly to annoy them, not to set anything up here in particular. They changed phase shift so that you get, I think you get a bunch of damage resistance for 4 seconds or something after it wears off, so you can't set up Eldritch Storms quite as well with it. 82 to 332. 2 to 1 for Epic here. Big fight in the mid. Banshee's yelling. Warp Vomit coming in though and really evening that fight up. Sluggers are already gone. I think they should have stayed in play. Weird Boy gets a really good shot. I wonder if that was ground targeted by Fathom. Fire Prism's now here. Yeah, they handled that melee fight well. That Warp Vomit makes a massive difference. And that really good Weird Boy shot as well. I don't think the Warboss was even in that fight either. Banshee's still in play though. Seer Council will force stuff, but not the Banshees. Storm Boys with a very staggered jump. But they got out. Warboss gets a swing on the Fire Prism. Did the Banshees not lose a model? Wow. Pretty lucky. Looted tank now on the way for Fathom. Warboss is determined to get another hit on this Fire Prism. Maybe just... Whoa. Friendly fire from the Bright Lance here. What the heck? Almost destroyed the Fire Prism. Was that 2 friendly fire hits? Or 1 friendly fire hit and 1 power claw hit? That was crazy. Warboss has got the trophy rack, which will help them even more in the big lobby melee fights. Looted tank is in. That's a nasty friendly fire hit. Fire Prism needs repairs badly. Guardians are retreating back to get that done, I guess. Banshee didn't fully heal up here. Double cap for Fathom. Have they got what it takes now to win the melee fights consistently with the Warp Vomit, with the trophy rack? Storm Boys level 3, Sluggers level 2. I think the key is that Warp Vomit. Can the... maybe the Orks can jump him and stop the Vomit going in. Oh, Pain Boy goes down. Another tool in their arsenal for the melee fights is down. No more Git Source. Ouch. Warp Vomit sets up a really good couple of attacks here. Having to retreat. 53 to 266. Warboss. Oh, didn't quite decap there. See the red debuff circle from the trophy rack. Is it 25%? Yeah, it's a good debuff. Shoot the boys capping stuff. Warboss does get away. What's going on west side though? Weird Boys doing some great work now. Storm Boys deserve their level 4. What about the Banshees? Level... oh, they're still level 2. Trying to get a decap. Having to jump away though. Right near the Seer Council, but they will make it out. 53 to 235. Orks trying to decap the mid. But there's a tank and there's some Daka. Ouch. Took tons of damage. Puts her shield up. Knocks down that one fella. Seemed like she jumped on the Nob Leader, but didn't knock him down. Knocked over some other fella. Single cap here. What's going on west? Fire Prism's in trouble. I don't know why it moved up there. Maybe it was chasing something. Getting some good shots in now though. And is being repaired somehow from that distance. Okay. Eldar trickery. And the Weird Boy can't get the cap, but it is decapped. Fathom's on the mid with the Warboss, who's level 3. With heavy armor now. More health regen and plus 900 hit points. The biggest health buff from an armor war gear piece in the game. very heavy. Gets the cap and then backs off. Banshees, not a good place for them. Getting suppressed. Brought in the phase. Are they going to fight the Warboss? They are. And Ortok comes in to buff them. Yeah, you can see their hands glowing. That must be the damage bonus that the Ortok gives. They could kill the Warboss here potentially. Did they use the stomp already? They must have used the stomp. Well, Storm Boys coming in maybe to save the Warboss there, but I think maybe they would have been okay. Oh no, Banshee's wiped. Ortok wiped. Took their eye off that fight there, Epic. 53 to 165. Fire Prism needs to... The Fire Prism and the Seer Council need to do a lot of work now. A lot of work. Those Banshees are really good. Level 3 Warp Spider. Still no Entangling Web. Guess the power's gone elsewhere. They're going to decap the mid, but can they chase off the tank? Seer Council cleaving through some Storm Boys. Avatar of Cain on the way for Epic. God of War. Bright Lance is keeping the tank back for now. Sluggers popping their Swampum a little bit early there. Gives them range damage resistance and some speed. I think it's +1 speed. More phase shifting. And there's the Eldritch. They are putting the Eldritch in there. It'll stun the vehicle if nothing else. And did a... well, still did a massive chunk of damage. Bright Lance did help though. I wonder if the... oh, the Bright Lance is going to go down though. I wonder if the damage resist you get after the phase shift doesn't affect vehicles, maybe? Or maybe that change never went through and I'm just crazy. Or maybe it was reverted at some point. I didn't remember it. Hard Boys up on the Warboss, getting disrupted. Smack, killed that guy pretty good. Really cool animation on the Power Claw as it opens and closes when he attacks with the little orky power surge between the claw finger bits, whatever they're called. What's this? It's Shooter Boys. There's a clutch cap there. These guys can go for the garrison now, maybe. Warboss still chasing stuff. Here's the Avatar. Oh, sneaky commandos with their Nob Leader. Got a rocket launcher. Down goes Fire Prism. This might be too much for Epic to handle now. With the Warp Spider down, Warp Spider's been repurchased. Avatar and Seer Council, I don't know if they can carry all this. Triple cap here for Fathom. Commandos are a fast capping unit as well. Why did they run? Maybe the Avatar was near them and wanted to do the Wailing Doom and stuff. Avatar can't cap though, looks sad. Here come the Seer Council who can. Level 2. Warp Spider going west side, yep. Here come Shooters, maybe the Weird Boy can disrupt him. And stop the cap. Got the decap at least. There's the Warp Vomit. Teleports out. Is it kicking off in the mid? It is. Sluggers dodged the Wrath of Cain there, I think. And here's Lufter Daka, which is disrupting the Sluggers. Use your choppers on them. How long the Nob Leader took to get up there? Does he have a longer get up animation? See Council getting destroyed by use your choppers on these Sluggers here. Wow. Melee skill wins melee fights. Said it so many times. Can they get away? 37 hit points. So there's only one Slugger left. Uh-oh, stayed in too long. They might make it though. Gonna need to rebuild the squad though and get their Nob Leader again. Warp Spider maybe could have teleported ahead and tried to finish them. But VPs are the concern right now. Double cap for Fathom. I think they have the game. Epic just doesn't have enough on the field that can cap. There's a GG. Ortok trying to get to the west side after being called in. Just doesn't have the time to do so. And it's going to get disrupted anyway. There's the game. Double cap at the end. It was a GG. Awesome 1v1. With a level 5 Warboss with Power Claw, heavy armor and trophy rack. What more do you want? Look at him. Look at that. Awesome. Poor Warp Spider. It's a bad way to go. The Warp Spider himself was level 5 also. I think Entangling Web would have been good. There was that fight in the mid where they lost the Banshees and lost the Exarch. That was like the beginning of the end for Epic. It was a rough fight, that one. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.